So I'm looking through Rolling Stone's January 2025 issue, and I'm, of course, looking for material, looking for information so that I could talk about it on the show. And I run across an article about the 25 greatest video games of all time. And guess what? I thought to myself, you know what? I can't relate to this. This ain't relatable. This ain't for me, baby, honey. There was at least seven of the games. I know that's not that many of the 25, right? It was seven of the games that I recognized. And then I started going through all of them. And I was like, okay, I never played this game, but I know somebody who did, who did play the game. Y'all, I don't know what made me think this part would not pertain to me, but we got to talk about it, all right? Because it was just way more relatable than I thought. And in fact, I've actually played more than a few of them in real life. And I want to chat real quick about just sort of gaming in general, some gaming consoles, because I've had access to almost every gaming console, including the Nintendo, the Sega Genesis, the Super Nintendo, the PS1, the Game Boy Color, the PS2, the Xbox 360, the PS3, the PS4. And those are just the ones that I've had access to. And that's definitely not all the ones that are on the list. But the best, most addictive game that I ever played, y'all, was dun 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 dun, The Sims. And it wasn't even on a gaming console. It was actually on a computer. Critics, I messed up, y'all, at least two good computers trying to be a gamer. What in the world? What in the world? So let's go and get into it real quick. The magazine says that to pick the best games ever, they actually considered how influential each was at arrival and whether it still holds up. Come with me on a journey inside of Rolling Stone's January issue where we discuss the top games that made today's culture, says the issue. Now, the number one game that they have on here is The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild. Now, I'm guessing that maybe this is in no particular order, and I didn't want to start from the bottom because the bottom is where my game is that I play the most, which I just kind of told y'all. But there's a few more that I wanted to point out as well. And I didn't play The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild, but I do remember Zelda as a game, as like a little kind of as a kid. Growing up, they had this boring Zelda game. So this ain't the boring one, obviously. This is the one that made the top list. And of course, y'all, Tetris. Now, shout out to the old black and white Game Boy before the Game Boy Color that came out, I believe, in 1998, they say, according to the internet. Unpopular opinion, Tetris is the only video game that's good in both black and white and color. And depending on who you talk to, they might prefer the black and white version. Shout out to Tetris, a classic forever. Nasty but classy. Okay, I'm done. Number three, Grand Theft Auto 5. Shout out to Grand Theft Auto though, Vice City. That's the one I'm familiar with. Actually played the game. Unfortunately, I loved getting at the car, shooting, robbing, stealing a car, going get another one, shooting down in Miami as if I was from Miami. No, Liberty City, all of the things. Shout out to Grand Theft Auto though. But they are number three on the list. Number four, another classic, Super Mario World. This game, y'all, kept me up at night. Damn near about, yeah, damn near got my ass whooped because I didn't want to go to sleep as a child because I wanted to play Super Mario World. Shout out to Super Mario World for taking you into a different dimension. That's what it feels like the games do for me. Like they take me, it's like another dimension. It's like another world, another world. Some of them sound like that too. Y'all, at number five, The Last of Us. Also at number six, Half-Life 2. Never played that one. That came out in 2004, actually. Metal Gear Solid, 1998 release. It was original set. The 1998 original set the tone for an entire genre of politically tinged games, according to the article. At number eight, baby, Final Fantasy number seven specifically. It's Roman numeral, so that's why I'm hesitating because I'm like, you know what? I thought I was gonna try to put it in like it says in the magazine. Child, I should have just wrote the number seven out here. Final Fantasy V11. You know what I'm saying? No, girl, that is a seven. You know, I got to remember. I got to remember. But Final Fantasy, y'all. This came out actually in 1997. And according to the article, it says it might as well have been released in a piranha pit in 1997 when developer Square put out the role-playing game for PlayStation. The industry was stocked with enough RPGs such as Diablo and the Elder Scrolls to last a lifetime. So shout out to Final Fantasy at number 8. At number 9, baby, we have the Elder Scrolls 5. Skyrim is what it's called. So that's the Elder Scrolls 5, the Skyrim version. This one came out in 2011. Um, yeah, shout out to the Elder Scrolls. Never played that. Not even familiar, but I will say that seeing the picture in the magazine, it looks like I may have seen somebody play that. Number 10, Super Metroid. It came out in 1994, and it says the original Metroid was Nintendo's riff on Ridley Scott's Alien, but its sequel would be the one riffed on for the next 30 years. At number 11, Halo Combat Evolved. So all of those who like those kind of militant style games. Saw folks play this one, never played it myself. It came out in 2001. And it says most first person shooters were made for PCs. This took them to consoles. So I'm guessing that this was the game that kind of took them off of the PC into the consoles, being able to, I guess, shoot around in the game, just the game. Like EA Sports is in the game, but that's anyway. We're gonna get to that part too. Number 12, World of Warcraft. I didn't play this much. Again, just heard about this a whole lot. It's a 2004 game. Few developers take a painstaking interest in achieving a sense of place in their video game settings. However, World of Warcraft's Azeroth is an exception. The scale is daunting. Opening the map of the World of Warcraft doesn't show a city, but multiple continents to actually navigate. Shout out to World of Warcraft. When I tell you I heard a lot about the World of Warcraft, I was not a World of Warcraft person, but I heard a lot about them. Doom, it's a 1993 game. It's a space marine who finds himself battling demons on the moons of Mars, eventually taking the fight back to hell. I mean, I guess if you're gonna go all the way, that's why it's called Doom, right? Shout out to Doom. Didn't play that one either. Street Fighter 2, though, did play this game. Did play this game. Now I thought to myself, that 90s game looks familiar when I saw it in the magazine. And I was right. This is a game that I played when I went to, sometimes they would have like those restaurants and they will have those little video games on the side, like on your way to the bathroom. This is what this game particularly reminds me of. Yeah, shout out to Street Fighter 2. At number 15, The Witcher 3 Wild Hunt. At number 16, Red Dead Redemption, number 2. At number 17, Diablo 2 actually made the cut. At number 18, Madden EA Sports. It's in the game. That actually made it, and it's specifically the 2004 version. So Madden NFL 2004. It says that sports games are an essential part of pop culture, and no series better embodies this than what else but NFL Madden. But of all the games, the 2004 one holds a special place for many as the one that introduced owner mode, taking the action beyond the field into controlling a franchise right down to the hot dog sale. So maybe very similar to The Sims, how you can just kind of go into the world and then you get a chance to basically build everything. You can purchase a home, you can start a family, it's all of the things. So I guess go ahead. I didn't realize that that's what it was. I'm glad I read that. I'm glad I read that. No, number 19. I know, y'all, I'm probably not qualified per se to do this just because my experience is not deep into gaming, but I saw those few and I was like, you know what? I'm gonna do a video regardless of whether people think I'm qualified or not. Because this is my channel, baby. This is my channel, and welcome to my channel. Welcome to my channel. Baldur's Gate 3. It says this was a game that was new to me as well, and I would say rightfully so. It was just released maybe like a few years ago. It was actually released, I believe, in 2023, but I'm not familiar with Baldur's Gate three, but it's here at number 19. At number 20, another classic, baby, Mario Kart. Specifically, Mario Kart 64 is what it's saying. It's the game that ends friendships. So when you hit a banana peel and you see your cart spin out, only to be struck by a homing shell a second later. The second game in the Nintendo's racing franchise introduced four-player competitions and is one of the most infuriating party games in history. Shout out to Mario Kart. I know I beat some people, but I've also lost a lot. That's why I like games that don't necessarily have like a end per se, like The Sims. At number 21, Fallout 3. They say this about this. It was released in 2008, and it says war never changes. The opening scroll sets the tone for the bleak journey into the apocalypse. I hope wants to be in the apocalypse, but I guess if you're in the game, that's the dimension. It's the apocalypse dimension. But the reality is so much stranger. The game studios, which I'm not able to say, is the revision of the cult RPG series. It couldn't have been a simple sci-fi take on the Elder Scrolls, but instead it introduced an open world of nuclear-powered robots, cowboys, I like a rhinestone cowboy, mutants, and gals. Okay, shout out to Fallout number 3. And at number 22, Call of Duty 4, Modern Warfare. Now, I'm sure that I've interrupted somebody's son who thought that they was going to focus on playing this game. Child, no, not today. Not today. But shout out to Call of Duty. I have actually played some Call of Duties before, but it wasn't on purpose. It was really just to play around because somebody had an extra gaming console, and it was like, let me see what I can do. So did that. I'm sure I didn't do it right, but I did it anyway. And then at number 23, Tony Hawk's Pro Skater. This is what they say about that. It was a 1999 game. It says that it remains one of the best examples of the intersection between games and culture as you take control of the 10 real life pro skateboarders from Chad Muska to Hawk himself. The licensed soundtrack blasts songs from Dead Kennedys, Suicidal Tendencies, and Goldfinger. Now, I don't know who these people are, but you know that headbanging music. Judge me, I'm so sorry. The rocking headbanging music, like you would go and you would be in one of the mosh pits. That's the kind of music it sounds like. I've never remember watching anybody play this game, but just this is based off of judgment. To people who are offended, my bad, my bad. And my favorite one at number 24, The Sims, baby. The Sims. And it's not just The Sims itself. It's like The Sims 1, 2, 3. However many came out, I love every single one of The Sims. Now, I will admit to you, when it comes to The Sims, I do not like to play on any gaming console, period. 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 I don't like to play on a gaming console. I specifically like to play on the computer. At number 25, Stardew Valley, which came out in 2016. But I'm not gonna lie to you. When I look at the picture of Stardew Valley, it reminds me of them farm worlds that they used to have kind of back in the day, maybe like in 2000 and maybe nine, 8, 9, 10, something like that. When they used to have them farm worlds on like Facebook and things like that that you could actually play. And you know what's interesting is like recently I've seen some top stars actually promoting gaming. I want to say folks like Gwyneth Paltrow, one of the Jenner sisters, they're also promoting the games. But you know what I'm saying? Like some of them commercials. Yeah, but that's what it reminds me of. Y'all, I had to share that with y'all. Thank y'all for for bearing with me as I specifically talked about gaming. Again, these are the 25 greatest video games of all time in Rolling Stone's January 2025 issue. Ha ha ha.